you guys. It's so exciting to think about this is your last course. Hopefully, you're on the road to finishing up or close with your project. And I just am so proud of you. I was so excited to see all three of you signed up for the course and kind of ready to rock and roll. So, this won't be too bad. It's going to be actually an interesting course, I think, as you talk about disseminating your project, about kind of changing policy. A lot of your projects really have that built in. You know, how do we get this change project, this quality improvement project out to the masses? How do we disseminate it out? So here's the course. And the syllabus is here. Here's my contact info, and it's in the syllabus as well, but it's right here, and you probably have that already. My cell, my email. I don't really have an office phone. When they moved me over from Anderson back to the 3900 campus, somehow they lost my phone, and I said, you know what? I'm kind of everywhere. So I just prefer to use my cell. So that information's there. Shoot me an email. You know how I respond pretty quickly. So if you have any questions, just kind of, connect with me. Here's the DMP resource page here that brings you back to all the information. I pulled most of the things that we need for this course into this template so that you don't have to keep running back and forth. APA writing resources and policies. There's a DMP project repository that's kind of broad, projects from all over the place, if you're interested in looking at that. There you have to do for this course, you do a poster and a little mini poster presentation. Because I think it's good to practice doing that. And, if you have the opportunity to, sign up to present it somewhere, you already have it finished. So I think it's good practice for us to do that. So that's part of this course. So there's poster information here. There's examples and templates here. So it kind of explains to you. And then in the course for that week, there's a couple readings, one video, I think, that says, here's how you can make a good poster, et cetera, et cetera. So for your student presentations on the 28th of April, which is week 7, can't believe it, April, especially after this bout of snow, it's like, bring on April. And so it's got a couple different Bethel PowerPoint templates here. You don't have to use those. If you're kind of creative and you want to use one that has kind of a fun background that fits your project, go ahead. These are just options for you. There's a presentation rubric here. And then there's 3 former students, a video of their presentations. And 2 of them have actually their PowerPoints here. And then Bola's has her presentation question and answer. Because what you'll do is you'll do your presentation and then we'll kind of ask questions. It's very informal. And, by then, you've lived your project. That's what I always tell everybody. You have lived it. You are so such experts on it that this part is actually fun because you're actually out there presenting. So that stuff is all at the top there. And then we have the weeks. I've got them all collapsed here. Intro to healthcare policy. There's a couple videos here. There's some readings, code of ethics, healthcare policy making and politics. And these are narrated by Wendy, because she initially wrote this course, and then I've kind of tweaked it a little bit. There's resources here. National League for Nursing has some public policy advocacy information. You can just kind of scroll through that and look. Minnesota Legislature, there's all kinds of information about public policy out there. And then some guidelines for dissemination here. And then the first week, there's health policy in the news, coming up with something that's out in the news and then discussing it. And then kind of the initial draft of a dissemination plan. And then the final week, basically all that's due, because that's the week after you give your presentation, is kind of an update on that. Do you have anything new since the course started? You know, maybe you submitted a poster presentation. Maybe you submitted for a conference presentation, maybe, something like that. So that's week 1. And then module 2 is policy decision making and advocacy. So it talks a lot about advocacy, social determinants of health, promise of community-based participatory research. Then there's a forum that's a current health policy issue and influencing, and then a case study analysis. So that's what's due for that week. And the information is all in the syllabus, and it's also, as always, if you click on the link, it gives you the criteria. Okay, module 3, policy brief. You're going to write a policy brief and then analyze it. So these readings, power of a policy brief, guidelines for writing one, analyzing one. So you can kind of learn all about that. And then you can watch this health policy analysis video as well. And then here's your policy brief about your DMP project. And then you analyze your policy brief, write a little mini journal and analyze it. So that's week 3. Week 4 is your poster presentation. And actually week 5 is when you do your vodcast, do a little presentation. This week is actually, I should change the name of that. This is your DMP project. Poster, not the presentation. That's week 5. So this is just when you make your poster. Again, I put some examples, templates and stuff here, and then there's some up at the top of the course as well. And then you have a forum discussion about image and influence. How do we as nurses, influence the change in policy and that kind of thing. And then turn in your poster here. Here's information kind of moving forward on your vodcast. So basically the vodcast is like you've done in other courses where you just do a little video. So here is project presentation. And so basically this whole week, the only thing that's due, there's not new content here. So we've got a devotion. I actually read Sullivan chapters 13 and 14, kind of talks about dissemination. And then you have your vodcast presentation. And I explain in there, and you can use your phone, you can use your Zoom account that you have through Bethel, Canva, and Screencast-O-Matic have free software. So kind of the same things that you've used in the past. And then basically, and I think Zoom is actually one of the easiest things, and you just click record, and then it gives you a clip at the end that you put up on YouTube. So I think because you have a poster, that might be the easiest route. So you've got your poster, which is kind of in a PowerPoint format. And then if you print it, of course, it's large, but it comes kind of neat and tidy. And then you can share your screen and basically present your poster, save it as a video file, upload it to YouTube, and you're done. So, you can do this. So these are basically week 4 and week 5, module 4 and 5. You can do your poster, make your poster and do your presentation, pop it up, and then you have kind of a week where you can finish up your project if you're not done. So there's that. And then week 6 is health in all policies. So we talk a lot about health impact statements, and you can go out to the World Health Organization and they talk about health impact. The National League for Nursing talks about it. National Conference of State Legislators. And then there's a article about a brief history of health impact assessment. And then, so that's kind of for this. And then You're going to pop up your poster presentation in a forum, and then you're just going to, you don't have to respond to each other, but I want you to do a little critique. There's a little critique here for you to do. So pop up your link and then do that. And then there's Health in All Policies Journal, and you'll see the information there. And then DMP Project, Johns Hopkins has a publication guide template. So what I'd like you to do is fill out a draft of that, because it helps you if you're going to write an article, or if you're going to write a brief, or maybe a research brief. It helps you kind of get that rolling. And so basically it's just a guide. It's a template that came from Johns Hopkins, and then turn it in here. So weeks 4, 5, and 6. Week 6 has a few more things due. Week 4 and 5 are a little bit lighter. So you can, do those whenever it is that you want to. If you've kind of got time set aside and you're on a roll, do 4, 5, and 6 together. And then because your publication guide template that you're filling out is probably contains a lot of the information that's actually in your poster anyways. So just kind of as you look these weeks over, kind of organize yourself on your calendar. And sometimes if you can carve out a day or two, you can just nail all those weeks and get them done. Week 7 is when you're going to do your project presentation. So that's Friday, and you'll get more information about it, but that Friday, April 28th. And then, like the templates and stuff and all that is up towards the top. See templates and examples under course resources, and then turn in your presentation PowerPoint here. So all of the criteria and stuff is up. If I click on this, let's see where we go here. My computer the snow must clog me up here. Okay, it doesn't really give you the criteria. That's up above. I put it all up above at the beginning. So that's this week. Basically, there's no new content except for this Sullivan chapters 15 and 16. And so your presentation will be, and I can entertain questions about that or whatever. So that's that. And then your final week, there's devotions called Leaving a Legacy. And so I thought that was a really fun devotion. Then you have a forum discussion, reflection of the program and your project completion. And then this is what I was talking about before, just kind of a quick little reflection, a little update from the beginning of the course when you just kind of did a little draft. So is there anything new about how you may be disseminating this? Because we really, if you can, disseminate it far and wide as much as you can. You worked a ton on it. So let's get it out there to people. So that is it for this course. So it's not really too bad. It's pretty contained, and it's really fits nicely with completing your DMP project, and like we said, figuring out how to disseminate it. So that is that. Any questions, let me know. I thought I would just get this open early in case you had some time to kind of get organized, and I'll see you online. Bye-bye.